Hey all, welcome back to Strager's Plastic Cartel. Thank you so much as always for tuning in to the latest edition. I hope this video finds you well and safe, and more importantly enjoying the hobby still. Now before I get to opening this awesome bad boy, I need to give a shout out to the people that made it entirely possible in an amazingly quick turnaround, and that is these guys. MJR Models and Hobbies. I'll leave that in front of the screen so you can get the details there. If you want to go on their website, it's all the W's, mjrmodelsandhobbies.co.uk, and they also have a couple of Facebook pages as well. Now Mike and his team are quite frankly delightful human beings, and they cannot do enough for you. So much so that I'm now up to at least 2 coasters. In fact, I think I've got 5 or 6 in the stash. Highly collectible, guys. Get them while you can. Now, seriously, these guys are fantastic. This kit, I guess they needed to get it in from a supplier. So I dropped them a line and said, guys, I need to get hold of this. Can't get it anywhere else in the country. Mike and his team, as usual, stepped up and went, mate, we can get that for you. And boy, did they, in less than 6 days, including a hiccup on my part with PayPal. So that was from me messaging them, and obviously he's very busy, got back to me on the same day and got it sorted. Less than 6 days from ordering to on my doorstep. And plus, you get a free one of these. What more could you want in life? So yeah, huge shout out to them. Thanks guys, really appreciate that. I'll sadly have to move these out of the way because for me they're almost the main event. And then now we get on to the next part, which is opening up this bad boy and doing a preview of what's inside. Let's get on with it. So let's open up the box and see what's inside. Beautiful, beautiful artwork on the front of the box. Really, really stunning. Love that. Don't know if that's computer aided or hand artwork, but absolutely gorgeous. Here, if you're lucky enough to get hold of the first release limited edition, it comes with a metal pitot. Very nice little touch. Excuse my slightly shoddy camera work at the beginning of this. And there we have clearance of the 10th anniversary of Great Wall Hobbies, and my goodness me, are they getting themselves on the scene. So let's take a look inside the box. Wow, this thing's huge. Absolutely incredible. One thing you may notice on the left hand side there's a little bit of sticky tape. That was where my photo etch was, and in this video here's me looking for it thinking, where on earth's that gone? It was there a minute ago. It's stuck to the roof of the box. So here we go, this is the photo etch that comes with the kit as standard. Various bits and pieces in there, including the missile guides, and of course the aforementioned limited edition metal pitot that comes with this first edition. I'm not sure if it will follow on with the others, I guess time will tell. So let's get down to the sprues. Still bagged up, nice and fresh. Those are the main fuselage parts. Here we have a colour guide, pretty much foolproof, very nice, crisp colour printing, absolutely lovely. And there you can see the colour guide with a cross reference so that you can get the colours right with that. Very, very nice. Next up, instructions. And then there's a Sprue sort of tree guide. And on the paperwork here, basically a copy of the box art. Very, very nice. A little bit of history about the aircraft in Chinese and in English, and then something we'll look at a bit further on is the colour reference. Little extra sheet, not sure what that's for. Nice plan view there, showing where some of the decals have got to go. And here are all the rest of the sprues, very nice. Plenty of plastic to be playing with there. Inside this box, nice touch of the missiles. We'll take a closer look at that very shortly. And the aforementioned MJR Hobbies coaster and the beautiful decals that again we will have a closer look at in a mo. So let's get the bags open and get at it. Okay guys, so here we are with the instructions for the 148th Great Wall Hobby SU-27UB kit. I've just off screen gone about unbagging all the plastic sprues, and my goodness me, there is a pile of plastic here. I cannot tell you the pile of plastic next to me that will pass in front of this camera over the next few minutes as we go through the sprues is epic. Okay, this kit is okay. It's not your £20 kit off the shelf. It's a little bit more expensive. It's only just been released by Great Wall Hobby, and by the looks of things, they have outdone themselves with this kit. They've been around for about 10 years now. And they are a fast emerging name in the scale modelers arsenal, should we say. It's a name that I do believe will become the name for military models and maybe armour if they decide to take that on as well. It's just incredible, really is incredible. I'm not paid to promote them, but what I've seen of this, it is truly impressive. Okay, anyway, enough babble. This is the instructions that you get that come with a kit. Here is a sprue layout, or the sprue layout. I'm doing this live, I'm not dubbing over. Do forgive me if there's a few ums and ahs here as I go through with this kit. And if you hear any sort of background noise, I've got 3 dogs and they tend to decide that when I'm videoing, let's have a wander around and get in the way, but hey, that's dogs and I wouldn't change them for anything. Anyhow, I digress. Here we go. So I'll just zoom in a little bit so we can see a little bit more of the detail here. So here you have the main sort of plan for the sprue layout, and of course here you've got your decal layout, etc. And the photo etch part 1 and part 2, you get 2 lots of that, which we'll take a very brief look at. Okay, let me just zoom back out to the wide view and we can see where we're at. So we get that. I'm going to pop everything to one side once I've shown you what's in it. So this is the instruction manual, and it's fairly standard. Starts with a cockpit tub to start with. I shall try and bring this up. This thing's so big. You get a 3D rendition, I suppose. Everything's in 3D now, as this is seems to be the new ways, and it's in colour. It's very, very nice. And as you will see, they all have, you see like the C33, the C313, that all cross refers to a colour chart. He says, scrambling, looking to find said colour chart. Now that was on the back or something. Here we are. Sorry, here we go. So as you can see here, has a full colour chart. Now this is for Mr. Hobby, or Guns as it once was, or Vallejo. If you don't have those paints, do not despair, because there are quite a few apps or things online where you can cross-refer the guns colours to your chosen medium. So, back to the beginning. We will zoom out a little bit so you can see the whole sheet. So basically, as standard, runs through, build your ejector seats, and then you've got the cockpit tub as well. These are, of course, the K36 ejector seats. There's 2 of them, obviously, because the UB is the 2-seat version. I believe this will also be coming out fairly well. I think they're going to announce the SU-27 with a single seat as well, which will be good for a lot of people, because I know quite a few people prefer the single seat. Not me. I like the twin seats. I just think it looks a bit more beefy. So anyway, I digress. What is great here, and now again I will try and zoom in for the purpose of here, is, as you can see, all the pipes for the wheelbase are included in this kit. And what is great is they're on a separate sprue, so you can paint them away from the wheelbase and then put them in afterwards. So there's no real need for any extra wiring, unless you really want to go to super detail, but I don't see the need of this, but I'm really excited for this. The level of attention to detail with this is absolutely savage. It's so good. Just zoom back out again so again we can see the whole. There we go, guys and girls. So basically, yeah, just runs you through the engine nacelles, the intakes. It is again all 3D rendered. Shouldn't really struggle with seeing where parts go. This isn't like Hasegawa kits of old where it was a little bit of guess where it goes. And of course, here, I'll zoom in, you can see
instruction details for the cockpit, which is very, very highly detailed. It also includes the blind flying HUD, which is the part that goes in here and on here as well, like so. Main instructions as everything all comes together here. Nice little touch there that you can actually have the rear part of the Stinger up. That's of course where the parachute is located, so you could detail that up as well. I don't think I'm going to go with that. I quite like the clean lines of this. I'm still debating whether I'm going to have cockpit open, such as shown here. I'm definitely not going to have the nose open on this though. I want the clean lines with this one, so am I going to go cockpit open? Probably not, which is a little bit of a shame because the cockpit is so uber well defined, which you'll see when I get to the sprues in a minute. I'll zoom back out so you can see that. My only slight sort of thing that I have noticed already is the sheer amount of detail and work that needs to go in to building just the main gear here. I mean, there are a good number of parts here, as you can see. Is that necessary? I kind of get it. You want to pay and have an involved build, but I don't know if that's just going a little bit too far with the amount of pieces there just to make one main gear. I'm not sure I needed that level of intensity with that build. It'll be fine, of course, each to their own. I'm sure some will disagree, but that's just my take on it. Laziness on my part? Hey, maybe. Also here, just worthy of note, the difference of the insides of the doors. So I'm led to believe that the inside of the doors, some of them are for open and some are for closed. Again, very, very cool. Very cool that they've thought of that. Then we go, draw to the end of the instructions. You have your armaments and the huge array of options for that. I mean, these missiles just look cool. And then an interesting one is they kind of here put the paint scheme for the Chinese version and then done a kind of schematic. I don't know if they should have put this sort of maybe at the back, but hey, each their own, not going to complain. This looks smart. I mean, cool, you could almost frame this, it looks so smart, it's so crisp. That's for the Chinese Air Force colours. So that brings to a conclusion the instruction side of things. They have, as an incidentally, added this, which seems to be like an extra pull-out or something like that. It's all written in Chinese, so I can't figure out what it's for, whether it was like an addendum, an extra bit. I'm not sure what the crack is with that, but as you can see, look at that cockpit. So crazy cool, but we'll see that again in closer details when we get to the sprues. And then on here, we have different paint schemes that are available for this aircraft. This one being the Soviet Air Force Red 64, which is the Russian Navy Baltic Fleet 689th Independent Red Banner, based in Kaliningrad Naval Air Base from 2004. And what's quite cool is here, I'm not going to sort of spoil it for you, is you can see a little bit of detail about this aircraft on here. They've really gone to town with this, and I really rate this very, very highly. This is my first sort of new build, so maybe you guys are a little bit more used to it than me, I'm not sure, but this has blown me away. And here we have Red 100 in a slightly paler scheme than the one before. This seems to be the sort of more faded scheme here. Sorry, this one's the more faded scheme. This is Red 100, named after the triple hero of the Soviet Union, ace pilot Alexander Ivanovich Pokrishkin. Excuse my pronunciation there. Russian Navy Baltic Fleet, again 689th Independent Red Banner, Kaliningrad, base, Naval Air Base, Russia 2020. And again, it gives you a small amount of information on the aircraft. Now, the next pages gives you some alternates. Again, Red 63 on the left here. And then you've got the awesome colours. I love the colours of the Ukraine Air Force 831st Tactical Aviation Brigade, blue 74. This is in the splinter scheme, of course. I love the vibrant blues on this. I won't be doing any of these schemes. This will be a surprise for you later on in the build. I will be doing something slightly different for this kit. Anyhow, that's all the paperwork that comes with this. Next up will be having a look at the sprues. Okay guys, so in front of you, you see the first sprue out of the box. The size of this thing is just crazy. So without the nose cone on it, I thought I'd give it a quick measure up and we will sort of get a rough idea of the length. So there you're talking 15 inches, 39 centimeters in length. That's again without the nose cone. And then the width of this is roughly, well, spot on 30 centimeters, 1 foot or 12 inches in width, and that's again without the weapons mounts on the wingtips. This is huge, but the detail is phenomenal. Look at that. This is the sort of detail you expect of resin casting, but no, this has been plastic moulded by Great Wall Hobby. Down to the details here. Try and get the camera, there she goes, point that out, excuse the slight shadow. The countermeasures on the stinger. Again, just beautifully. I'll try zooming in just to get the detail so you can appreciate that. The detail, there you go, look at that. The detail on that, well, you try and beat that. That's absolutely phenomenal. So that's the main wing. Again, beautifully moulded. All the wings in one piece, which is how we like it. Absolutely superb. So that's the main top bit. That is Sprue B. Comes with the tail planes. Again, the detail, second to none. So basically, I'm going to just pass the bits of plastic in front of the camera. Excuse this, there we go. Try and keep you occupied, not just leave it blank. Move the bottom sheet here. So this is the bottom of the aircraft, or the underside. Again, the detail, I'm absolutely blown away. It's the first time I've actually really looked at this, even myself. And the detail is phenomenal. You can just see how well moulded this is. Top work, top marks to Great Wall Hobby. The details in here, well, there you go, you can just see that, excuse the slight shadow, but I think we'll forgive that at the moment. That is just a thing of beauty. And even the detail here on the flaps, you can see that. I'll try and just zoom in so we can see the detail of that as well. Yeah, look at that. That'll look great with some panel line wash in there just to bring out that detail. It certainly deserves it. And if you're going to do a sort of beaten up Russian jet, this is begging for panel line and some modulation and bits to just bring out the actual detail that's in this. It's just phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal. Okay, next up, as I aim to keep plastic in front of you, is the front wheelbase. Now this is an interesting thing because it gives you two options. One on the right hand side here, which is for the wheels up, I guess, and then you've got the left hand side here. Just try and do that and then zoom in so I don't get the shadow. There you go, look at the detail in that. This is for the front nose wheel bay. So it gives you the options. There's the insides of it, so you can detail it up again, begging for a bit of panel line wash and some highlights. I know there's decals for it in the decal sheet. Absolutely superb. Sorry if I'm waxing a little bit too lyric. I'm just really excited to get on with this kit. Next up, talking of wheelbase, is what I mentioned with the instructions. You get all the hydraulic lines on a separate, again flimsy, on a separate sprue, so you can paint them separately. And look at the detail on that. It's just like a pitos there. We'll call that the fragile sprue, and that is Sprue W. Absolutely incredible. Next up, you get two of these. This is the engine detail and the exhausts. Again, fabulously well detailed on both sides, as you would expect. You've got the engine intake parts there as well. Incidentally, with these, just worthy of note is if you're doing the aircraft in parked, these intakes need to be set to the closed position, which is what I'm going to be doing because I'm going to have it in the parked. There you go, that beautifully points out the detail inside that exhaust there. Excuse the focusing. There we go. That is beautiful. Very, very good. Again, level of detail. I'm almost going to get bored of saying this. The level of detail is fantastic. So, of course, because it's twin engined, you get 2 lots of those as such. I'm just going to sort of speed up a little bit because obviously I don't want to bore you to the tears. This is kept bagged because it's fairly obvious what it is. This is for the pylons. This is the pylons for the weapons and ordnance. Again, level of detail is very, very good. Well, it's just perfect, really. Got one of those. In fact, as I lean round, we've got 2 lots of those. Again, very, very good. Yeah, perfect. I'll pop them in the box, get them out the way. Talking of weapons, again, something beautifully detailed. We've got the rocket pods. These are very, very nicely done. The B8M rocket pods, or rocket launchers. Detail very, very crisp. Even tells you what they are on there, the B8 rockets. Very, very nice. The next sprue is Sprue G. Again, various sundries on there. Now, I think, now, could be wrong, so don't shoot the messenger. I think this is the, it's an HUD, blind flying HUD, that's what it is. Again, also included in the kit. Again, don't shoot me if I'm wrong there, but I think that's what that is. Again, very, very nice. With that. Next up, Sprue P, and this has the ejector seats. Oh, that's interesting. Also, by the looks of things, you've got the choice to have the yeah, you've got the choice here to have the straps for the seat in the open position, or so it's ready to accept the pilot, or in the closed position. That's very, very cool. Yeah, look at the detail on that. Again, something that you would expect with something from resin, not from plastic. This is absolutely fantastic. And these are the K36 injector seats. Of course, you're going to get 2 lots of these because it's 2-seater. Very, very nice. So on cue, there is the next one of those. So yeah, 2 lots of those. And you've got the back here, you've got the for the cockpit tub, you've got the back of it again, showing phenomenal detail. Aha, right, here's the cockpit tub for you. The detail on that is very, very good. I'm actually going to be delving into using the new 3D decals, which I kind of feel a little bit guilty for now, because the detail on this is absolutely amazing. I kind of feel guilty for using the 3D decals now. I'm still going to use them, don't get me wrong, but there you go, look, there's the instrument panel. Absolutely fantastic. I'll just bring that through there, sorry, to catch the details a bit more on there of the main cockpit tub. That's, again, very, very impressive work. Okay, next sprue up has the wheels on it. We'll zoom out for this because it's a considerably bigger sprue. And again, with the aim to keep plastic in front of this screen. There we go, I'll move that out of the way. So as you can see here, the tyres are separate from the wheels, which I don't know where I stand with that, because I like to have it all as one part and use thinned out black paint and let the capillary reaction do the edge of the tyres. But I guess if you're going to spray your tyres, it makes it a lot easier. There you go, there's tub number 2 for the rear. Let's have a look at the details on the wheels. They've got lovely raised detail again. I'll try and just bring that out a bit with a little bit of zoom. Look at that. Has it got the tread on it? Yep, that's got the tread on it. Yeah, very, very nice. I know they're only wheels, I'm not going to wax too lyrical about it. There's the wheelbase, the gear arms and legs. Absolutely fantastic. Yeah, very, very good. Very good. Another quite sizable sprue. That is Sprue E. We're nearly there, guys. We'll have a look at the sprues because I appreciate sometimes it can get a bit tedious, but I wanted to be thorough with it all. Here's the engine intakes. Another bits and pieces here. So these are obviously going to need to be glued to, cemented together, and then it's probably going to take a little bit of hopefully not filler, but just a little bit of sanding so that it becomes all smooth. It's the standard practice these days. It's a shame they can't cast them all into in one bit. This is the leading, I think this is the leading edge, the front leading edge of the wing. Again, beautifully detailed. Bits again for the size of the intakes. Again, with a bit of wash on this, this is going to look superb. Okay, so lastly on the sort of main big sprues, mine's come slightly detached. So here you have the main engine nacelles or intake areas. Again, detail fabulous. So what I'm thinking is I'm probably going to, before I attach these to the aircraft, because obviously you get, when you're spraying, it almost creates a bit of a vortex between here and the fuselage when you spray. I'm probably going to spray these separately and then attach them to the main fuselage, because I happen to know that the fit to this to the main fuselage is second to none. So that's awesome. We're going to go with that. Another rocket pod. The list of plastic here is just phenomenal. If you're one for the environment, maybe this kit isn't for you. Okay, so next up, a point of interest is the cockpits. So Great Wall Hobby, as is tradition it seems, sadly for us modelers, is the cockpit glass. Sorry, I'm just fiddling with trying to release the cockpit glass from another sprue, which has somehow managed to get itself entwined. So here we go. You've got all the options here for the cockpit. Now, so if I just zoom in, there's the two separate pieces here. So this is one piece, as you can clearly see, and it still obviously has the seam line up through the middle, which you can just about see it there, which is something which is a bit of a pain in the arse to get rid of. Now they have to do this because the complex and is it concave moulding of these bits of glass, as you can see, it's very difficult to do, and I'm reliably told it's near on impossible to get this level or this curve in one piece. So it has to be done by two separate bits, because again you can see, or you might not be able to see, the beautiful clear plastic here, by the way. There is a line through the top of it which will have to be dealt with. So they're giving you two options here. Now some have said, I've seen some reviews where it said, oh, it's you use this one, and if that goes wrong you use that. Now my personal view of this is, one is this one, if you're having the cockpit down, you've got it all in one smooth bit, and if you're having the cockpit raised, then it's separate from the front, and it all looks, you know, it'll all come apart perfectly. That's my theory on it anyhow. But if I fail with this one, we'll go with that one as and how. It doesn't really bother me. But an absolutely beautiful, crystal clear bit of plastic, well, plastic, but for the glass there. Absolutely superb, very well played, G.W.H. Well impressed with that, very good. So that's the cockpit. You can make your choice, go from there. Last one of the last sprues. This is for the twin launches. You get a couple of these for the twin rocket launches. Again, I've kept them wrapped up. One other interesting thing to note here is the big plastic nose. Now the eagle-eyed of you will notice there, look, that it's on a tilt, has a cross bit there. Okay, this is because they really do push with this kit to have it in the open position, because they've taken the time to include the radar, and they want you to show it, which is fair enough. The reason why that's slanted is because that's how the nose opens. Obviously when you're going to paint, you will use this line here for the paint line. Okay, don't paint up to here or think, oh, this is all wrong, it doesn't fit right. That's how it's meant to be. Okay, now next up are the missiles. The missiles come in a separate box. Very nice touch. These are awesome. Okay, now I've had to do a little bit of research on my missiles because I don't know huge amounts of them or huge amounts about them. But for the noobs like me, I'm going to move this box out of the way so you can see it better. This is the R27ER missile. Now I've actually written some notes down on this just so I can provide or sound educated on the subject. But what I will say whilst looking at those notes to my side is this is all cast in one piece, and the detail is mind-blowing. So those of you that were watching my F-16 video, bit of a self-plug there, if you haven't watched those, do watch them. I won't have to worry about going to Edward and get new missiles and sort of searching for the details. The details on these are amazing. So this is the R-27ER missile, which I have absolutely no details on, so we're just going to carry on. It's an R-27ER missile, it's one of those. Okay. Next we have, the R-27ET. Now I have notes on this so I can sound educated. This is the R-27ET Alamos missile. Again, beautifully cast. The difference between the ER and the ET, I'm reliably informed, is the tips on them. Let's have a look, see. Yeah, different tips on them. There you go. Again, beautifully cast here. The R-27ET is very, very nice. I believe that I think it's the R-27ET, it's made by Vimpel, and it was designed in 1983. There we go, I now look like I know what I'm talking about. Here's the difference, it's a medium range missile. Now last, or one of the last ones, is the R-73E. Again, beautiful detail. The R-73E, the Archer missile made by Vimpel, short range missile, again made in 1984. So there you go, they all come boxed, they're all one piece, lovely touch from Great Wall Hobby, really nice touch. So to wrap the video up, won't keep you much longer, this is the decals that come with the aircraft. They are exquisite as well, just like the casting is, and then it's an interesting sort of setup here, because particularly with this one, it shows you this is the top side of the decals, the bottom side of the aircraft decals, the left to the right wings, and then the canopy intakes and gear bay, as can be clearly seen there. So it actually has a method to how you basically run through the vast amount of decals here. That's one sheet. Here you've got parts for the cockpit. Try and get that nice and close. Keep the shadowing away. There we go. Let's have a look there. Absolutely exquisite again. Then you've got your missiles, the rocket launcher, pylon details, decals, all there. Absolutely superb. And then on here, again, more for the pylons, etc., etc. Beautifully done. They are, do you know what, they're not thick at all, so this is going to be great. And here is the awesome sheet here for all the different air forces or colours that you want. I mean, just look at those, beautifully printed, again, not too thick, a good decal softener will do the job beautifully with those. So thank you for listening to my waffles, my ramblings about this kit, my kit review if you want to call it that. I really appreciate you tuning in and listening for this long. If you could do me the huge honour of liking and subscribing, it would mean a lot to me, just to know that there is someone out there listening to me. It's just fantastic. Okay, I hope you've enjoyed this. Again, click the like and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and bye.